Scene script. Have you ever wondered why places change their names? Today, we dive into the recent geographic name change that has stirred both intrigue and controversy. Names are more than just labels on a map. They reflect history, culture, and even politics. Geographic name changes, therefore, can have far-reaching implications. They can be a cause for celebration or contention, a symbol of progress or a sign of power. They can unite communities or divide nations. Now let's turn our attention to a name change that's making waves across the globe. The Geographic Names Information System, or GNIS, in the United States, has officially changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. This change, like a stone dropped in the water, is sending ripples far and wide. Depending on where you are, you might see the new name or the old one. Users in the United States will see Gulf of America, while those in Mexico will continue to see Gulf of Mexico. For everyone else, the name you see will depend on your location settings. This change didn't happen overnight. It followed an executive order by President Donald Trump, who also ordered the renaming of Denali to Mount McKinley. The move has sparked reactions on both sides of the border, with Mexico objecting on the grounds of international maritime law. The renaming of the Gulf is not just a matter of changing a label on a map. It's a symbol of the changing dynamics of power and politics, of history and heritage. It's a testament to the fact that names, like the places they represent, are not set in stone but are subject to the ebbs and flows of time and tide. Now let's unravel the timeline of events that led to this name change. The journey to the Gulf of America began with an executive order from President Trump. It might surprise you, but yes, the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico did not occur overnight or out of the blue. It was the result of a carefully planned executive order by none other than the President of the United States. The order sent ripples across the world, and reactions varied. Mexico, for instance, was quick to object to the change. They cited international maritime law and made it clear that they would continue to refer to the body of water as the Gulf of Mexico. The renaming, it seemed, had sparked a geographical tug-of-war, but like it or not, the wheels were already in motion. The renaming process was promptly implemented across federal agencies in the United States. Government maps, documents, and communications started referring to the Gulf of America. It was a change that was not just in name, but also in mindset. The tech world was not far behind in this transformation. Google, with its ever-updating Maps feature, was quick to adopt the new name. Users in the United States woke up to find that their familiar Gulf of Mexico had been replaced with the Gulf of America on their maps. For those outside the US, things were a bit more complex. Depending on their location settings, users could see either or both names. It's interesting, isn't it? A single executive order and the world's geography starts to look a little different. A body of water, known by one name for centuries, gets a new identity, sparking debates, discussions, and disagreements. But how are different platforms handling this change? Let's find out. In the world of technology, change is constant. But how did tech giants respond to this geographical alteration? As expected, the reactions were swift and varied. Google, the titan of tech, was quick to adapt. Following the official announcement by the Geographic Names Information System in the United States, Google Maps promptly reflected the change, switching the name from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America for users within the US. However, it wasn't a blanket change. For users in Mexico, the Gulf continued to retain its original name, and for others, the name they saw depended on their location settings. The change was implemented gradually, in line with Google's established practices. On the other hand, Apple's response was markedly different. As of now, the tech behemoth has not updated the name change on its mapping service. It's a fascinating contrast, isn't it? The same body of water, viewed through different technological lenses, bears different names. It's a clear illustration of how technology not only reflects but also shapes our understanding of the world. But the role of technology doesn't end at mere representation. It's not just about what name you see on the map. It's about how that name is decided, who gets to see it, and how that decision is communicated to millions of users around the globe. It's about the power of technology to mediate our reality, to define what we see and how we see it. As we can see, tech companies play a crucial role in how we perceive our world. But what does this change mean for us? A change in name can lead to a change in perception. So, what does this mean for the people? Let's delve into the potential implications of this name change. First off, the alteration of geographic names can indeed affect how we perceive and understand our world. By calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, it subtly shifts our attention, making us view this body of water as more American-centric, even though it's shared by multiple nations. But let's not forget, a name holds power. It's a statement of identity, of ownership. This renaming could be seen as a move to assert dominance or control. And while this may seem trivial to some, for others, it's a matter of national pride and heritage. And what about practical implications? Will this cause confusion in international communications or maritime operations? After all, one body of water now has two official names depending on where you are. Now let's turn our attention to public reactions and opinions. The response has been, predictably, mixed. Some see it as a harmless update, a reflection of the changing times. Others view it as an unnecessary political move, with critics arguing it's an act of cultural erasure or an attempt to rewrite history. There's a saying that goes, "What's in a name?" In this case, it seems a whole lot. The renaming has sparked debates and discussions, revealing the power and significance a name can hold. It's also a reminder of the ongoing tension between national identity and global interconnectedness. What's clear is that this change has implications beyond just what we see on our maps. It's stirring conversation, prompting us to question and reflect on the meaning and implications of geographic names. As we navigate through these changes, it's important to stay informed and engaged. Before we wrap up, we have a small request. If you've found this exploration of geographic name changes intriguing, we invite you to become part of our community. By hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell, you'll ensure that you're always in the loop with our latest content. This is more than just keeping up with the news. It's about understanding how our world is shaped, both literally and metaphorically. The renaming of the Gulf of America is just one example of how geography and politics intertwine. Changes like these are happening all the time, all around the world. And they're not just changes on a map. They're changes that impact people, societies, and cultures. When you subscribe and activate notifications, you're not just getting updates, you're joining a community of individuals who are passionate about understanding these changes. You're demonstrating a commitment to staying informed and engaged with the world around you. So, why not take that step? Click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and become part of our community. We promise to keep providing you with content that is informative, engaging, and thought-provoking. And remember, the world doesn't stop changing, and neither should our understanding of it. By staying informed about these changes, we can better appreciate the dynamic world we live in and the intricate ways in which geography shapes our lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, geography isn't just about places, it's also about people. Stay curious, stay informed.